the setup guide video for the Mira Encrypted Traffic Orchestrator, also known as the ETO. In this video, I will be going through the minimum decryption policy setup. If you have not already set up your ETO, you can find videos on how to do that in the description below. First, I will demonstrate how to create an internal certificate authority for use in re-signing. Then we'll create a policy, apply that policy to a segment, and see how the logs show decryption of SSL traffic. The first step is creating an internal CA. Click on the PKI tab on the left. In PKI Store, click Add, select Internal CA. We're going to generate a self-signed CA. However, here you can also generate a CSR or upload your own certificate if you already have one in use on your network. Enter the information for your organization, then click Save. We'll want to export this so it can be added as a certificate authority on any client devices that we might have. What's being exported here is just the CA certificate in its public key. I'm copying my certificate into a file on my client device so that I can import it into my browser. Next, we're going to create a policy. Go over to the Policies tab on the left, click Add. We'll name this one Demo Decrypt Policy. Set the catch-all action to Universal Decrypt. This will decrypt all TLS flows by default. Set the bypass internal CA to that internal CA we just created as well. In some cases, decryption is required to match traffic with the category database. If the ETO determines that the traffic should not have been decrypted, it will re-encrypt it using that bypass internal CA in the process, then discard the plaintext. Depending on your network, you can set this to a different CA than the one used for universal decryption. Now set the internal CA for universal decrypt action to PKI item, and select the internal CA that was created earlier. You can add external CAs if you will have traffic from servers in your organization running through the ETO so that they will be trusted. For your traffic monitoring, you may need to enable downgrade HTTP 2 to HTTP 1. But this would only need to happen if your security visibility tool isn't able to decode HTTP 2. Other than that though, this is the minimum settings that are needed for the policy, so we'll save these settings. Next, go to the Segments tab at the top. We'll name it Decrypt Demo Segment, and apply the policy that was just created to it. I'm going to set it to Network Inline, Appliance Passive, Balance to Ports configuration because I'm using an IDS passive security tool. Select the NIC serial. Yours may look different depending on if you are using a virtual appliance or hardware. For hardware installations, you may need to identify the NIC based on the description. Here you can also select how you want traffic to be mirrored, or you can leave it disabled. These are the minimum settings that are needed for decryption to function, so we can scroll to the bottom and click Save. At the moment, the datapath health indicator at the top of the screen is red, but once we activate this segment, it will turn green. Now select the segment and click Activate. If you need to make any changes to your policy or segment, just keep in mind that you will need to reactivate that segment again for the changes to be applied. Until you click Activate, it will go off of the settings that it had been last activated with. Now that we have our ETO set up to decrypt, let's go over to our test client and go to mirasecurity.com. When we look at the cert in our browser, it shows the Mira internal CA from the ETO. When we look at the session logs in our ETO, we can see that for all traffic, the action is re-sign. This means that the traffic is being decrypted, then re-encrypted with the internal CA. Thank you for watching this brief guide for the minimum decryption policy. To recap, we created an internal CA, created a universal decryption policy, and applied that policy to a segment. For any more videos, you can check out our channel page. For any more information about the ETO or Mira Security, please go to mirasecurity.com, where you'll find more information there as well as a Contact Us button at the top of the page.